Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in women, and the signs often go unnoticed. A First Coast advocacy group is working to change that. And here to tell us about it is Kate Mays. She's the 2025 First Coast Go Red for Women Summit chairperson. Good morning, Kate.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. We're also joined by Jacci Easterling. She's the vice president of development at the First Coast American Heart Association. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning.
So, we often think of heart disease as kind of an older person's illness, but we were talking just before this segment, and you noted that almost half of women age 20 and older are living with some form of heart disease. That's a really astonishing number because so few are aware that that's part of their life, I think, at that age.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that that's one of the things about the Go Red for Women movement that's so important is that we're able to share information and education around that staggering statistic. It's really scary.
And so, is reaching out to younger women particularly important, or is it kind of creating awareness in older women when they might be at a stage where that heart disease is manifesting in a life threatening way?
Yeah, I think the awareness really starts younger. I mean, I think, as we said, the stats are astonishing with how young it is with women over 20. But I think that's just a prime time with a lot of this research that we're doing. It's because women are starting their careers or starting to have families and they put their health priority behind. And so they're not, they're canceling their doctor appointments so they can do something else or take care of someone else. And so it's really building the awareness that they need to continue to know how to do, CPR. They need to know the signs. They need to have a lot of this awareness out there in the community, and it starts, as soon as possible.
I feel like there was a point at which, there were certain kinds of cancers that were not widely discussed. Women didn't often, pay attention to breast cancer. It wasn't really talked about much. Is this kind of in that category that it's just sort of it's going to take some time and some effort to build that awareness? Because I feel like women are very acutely aware of cancer risks.
Yeah, I think that there's been a lot of publicity around cancer, specifically in women, in many communities. And so we at the American Heart Association are just trying to do our best to spread that awareness. With 1 in 3 women being impacted by heart disease and 1 in 5 impacted by stroke, when you hear that and you look around a room when you're sitting there, you're like, which one of us is it going to be? I mean, this is a real thing. And so really leaning into the Go Red for Women movement to spread that awareness specifically with women is so important. I would say that this is our 21st year celebrating this here on the First Coast. And so we are making headway, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
So, what is different about cardiovascular disease in women in terms of either how it develops, why perhaps we know less about it than we do for men?
I can share that women are less than 40% of women are part of the research. And so men are women are just underutilized as far as research goes. The other thing that's really profound is that their symptoms appear differently, and so they can be masked or identified as some other symptom that's related to something else, like menopause or just stress or anxiety. And sometimes it's just under diagnosed because when women say things, sometimes they're just disregarded. When they share what they're feeling, it's not that they immediately look at their heart or their cardiovascular system.
Right.
So
And we often hear symptoms, are kind of or see on television people kind of clutching their chest. But what are people, women, experiencing when they're starting to have a cardiac incident?
So what we hear is a lot of times you're feeling things in your neck and in your jaw or in your back. And so with men, it's really like you hear that people say, "Oh, it's like an elephant was sitting on my chest." It was a lot of pressure in the chest. And we have learned that sometimes it's a feeling that goes down the arm, that it's in the neck, it's in the jaw, and that, or it could be like even a gastro type of symptom. And so with that, it's very easy to just blow it off and say, "I'll get to that later. I'll see if it continues." Traditionally, women are just wearing that superhero cape and taking care of, like Kate said, everybody else. And so, really just kind of pushing down and double clicking on the fact that women need to prioritize their own health and know their symptoms and know when to call 911 or go to the hospital.
And it's not really just women that need to prioritize their health, right? I mean, you were mentioning that there is some research and some data that show women who are experiencing a cardiac event are less likely to get assistance from people in the outside world or to get CPR.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what the American Heart Association has done a great job of building awareness in the community about CPR and teaching. They've taught the fun ways of teaching everybody to be able to give CPR, be able to do it to certain beats of music, just to train everyone to be able to help someone in need. But it's exactly that, what you mentioned. Females are less likely to receive CPR because of a multitude of reasons. People are scared that females are going to be embarrassed, or they're scared to touch them, or they're scared to expose them or have anybody look at them, or to hurt them because they're might be smaller. But this is something, building the awareness to be able to give CPR, but also to be able to receive and help someone that is in need is huge. I mean, all these things that we're talking about, females are more likely. Females are more likely to have a stroke than a man. And so those are just something, back to, your point of a stigma, that you don't think it's going to happen to a female, or you don't think it's going to happen to younger females. It's something that we're really trying to build awareness here.
And so awareness is part of this upcoming event, this summit, which is on Friday. It's from 10 to 1:30. Can you just tell us like who should participate and where they can get more information just briefly?
Sure. So they can go to the First Coast, Go Red for Women, women.org. You may have the, I want to make sure I have the right. They
I
can go
think
to the,
it's goredforwomen.org.
yes.
Yeah, all right.
And then anyone can come. So this is open to men,
All
women,
right.
and people of all ages.
Thank you so much.